Right now, as you're watching this video, there are parts of the internet operating that you will never see. Hidden websites, invisible to Google, locked behind encryption, and accessible only to those who know where to look. Inside these hidden networks, people claim you can find anything. Drugs, weapons, stolen identities, and even the darkest human desires imaginable. But that's only scratching the surface. Because the most disturbing part of the dark web isn't what's for sale. It's the stories. Disturbing stories of crimes, legends, and mysteries that blur the line between fact and nightmare. Most people will never stumble across them, and if they do, they wish they hadn't. These are the dark web stories you should never search for. But tonight, we're going to open that door. To understand these stories, you first need to understand what the dark web really is. Think of the internet as an iceberg. The tip above the water is the surface web, what we use every day. Google searches, YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, news sites, all of that is the surface web. Easy to access, easy to see. Beneath the waterline is the deep web. This is bigger than the surface web, but it's mostly boring. It's where databases, school portals, banking systems, and private medical records live. You need a password to access them, but they're not dangerous. And then, far below, hidden in total darkness, is the dark web. This is the part of the iceberg we're not supposed to see. To get there, you need special browsers like Tor, which disguise your identity and allow you to enter hidden websites ending in .onion. This is where things get disturbing. It's a world of black markets, encrypted chat rooms, strange forums, and whispered stories that can't survive on the surface. Some of it is fake, yes. Some of it is scams. But some of it is horrifyingly real. Story 1. The Red Room Legend. Let's start with one of the most infamous legends of the dark web, the Red Room. A Red Room is said to be a live stream where people pay to watch unspeakable horrors happen live on camera. Some claim that viewers can even type in commands, directing what happens next, as if the victims are puppets and the audience holds the strings. For years, supposed Red Room links have circulated online. Some lead to blank pages, others to scams demanding Bitcoin payments before showing anything. Skeptics insist that Red Rooms don't exist, that they're just clever scams designed to prey on people's morbid curiosity. But here's what makes the legend terrifying. Even if 99% of the stories are fake, what about the 1%? What if just one Red Room was real? Police around the world have never officially confirmed one. Yet the myth refuses to die. And maybe that's the most disturbing part, that people want them to exist. The Red Room isn't just a story about the dark web. It's a story about human curiosity pushed to its absolute breaking point. Story 2. The Cannibal Cafe Case. Unlike the Red Rooms, the next story is horrifyingly real. In the early 2000s, German police uncovered one of the most disturbing cases of all time. It began on a dark web forum known as the Cannibal Cafe. At first glance, it was just a message board where people shared fantasies too grotesque to mention. Most assumed it was roleplay, but one user, Armin Maiwes, wasn't roleplaying. He posted an ad looking for someone willing to participate in an unthinkable act. Shockingly, someone responded. In 2001, Maiwes met his willing victim in real life, and what followed became one of the most infamous true crime cases in history. When investigators searched his home, they discovered a nightmare beyond imagination. Forensic teams traced it all back to the Cannibal Cafe forum. The website was shut down. Maiwes was arrested, tried, and eventually sentenced to life in prison. But the case proved something chilling. Sometimes the dark web isn't just a fantasy. Sometimes the horror bleeds into reality. Story 3. The Silk Road. Not every dark web story involves violence. Some involve power, money, and an entire hidden economy. In 2011, a website launched on the dark web called the Silk Road. To its users, it was revolutionary. An underground Amazon where you could buy anything. Drugs, weapons, stolen IDs, counterfeit money, all just a few clicks away. Payment was made in Bitcoin, which at the time was nearly untraceable. The mastermind behind it all was a man known only as Dread Pirate Roberts. For years, no one knew who he was. The FBI, DEA, and international law enforcement all hunted him. By 2013, the Silk Road had exploded into a billion-dollar empire. And then suddenly, it all came crashing down. In a dramatic sting operation, FBI agents arrested Ross Ulbricht, the real man behind Dread Pirate Roberts, in a public library. His laptop was still open, logged into the Silk Road as he was taken down. Ulbricht was sentenced to life in prison, but the Silk Road's legacy didn't end there. Copycat marketplaces continue to appear, proving that even when one site is destroyed, the dark web economy is nearly impossible to kill. Story 4. Mysterious forums and strange videos. But beyond crime and commerce, the dark web hides something even stranger: mysteries. Take, for example, cryptic forums that seem to have no purpose. Pages filled with random strings of code, eerie symbols, or instructions for rituals and experiments. Some believe they're elaborate art projects. Others think they're coded messages for secret organizations. One of the most infamous examples is the video known as 11B-X-1371. Uploaded anonymously, allegedly from the dark web, it shows a masked figure in a plague doctor costume wandering through an abandoned building. The figure gestures in strange ways, while eerie sounds play in the background. Hidden within the video are ciphers, codes, and disturbing images. Some claim the video was a warning. Others believe it was tied to real-world crimes. To this day, its true origin remains a mystery. And then there are the so-called death countdown sites, pages that appear with nothing but a timer ticking down to 0. When the clock runs out, the site disappears. No explanation, no context, just gone. Are they pranks? Are they hacks? Or are they signals meant for someone else? Someone watching in the shadows? Story 5. Human experiment rumors. Among the most disturbing stories are rumors of dark web forums dedicated to human experimentation. Allegedly, users share images or instructions for bizarre tests, claiming to involve unwilling participants. Most experts believe these are elaborate hoaxes or attempts to shock outsiders. But the fact remains, if the dark web is home to black markets, assassins for hire, and real cases like the Cannibal Cafe, who's to say what else could be hiding there? Even the possibility that such sites might exist is enough to keep investigators and everyday people alike up at night. So what is the dark web really? A myth? A marketplace? A mirror of humanity's darkest instincts? The truth is, it's all of these. Some stories, like the Silk Road, are proven fact. Others, like the Red Room, may forever remain legends. And in between are strange, unexplainable mysteries that blur the line between fiction and reality. Maybe that's why the dark web fascinates us so much. It's the forbidden corner of the internet, the digital underworld we're told never to search for. And when we do, we might not like what we find. One thing is certain: these are the dark web stories you should never search for. Because sometimes Curiosity isn't just dangerous, it's deadly.